Hi everyone, this is Katie Carney from Katie's Stitching, and this is my Flosstube channel. It is the 15th of March in 2020, and it is a Sunday. That seems to be a good day for me to film. Excuse me. I didn't know if I would film this week because I had a kind of crazy week and I didn't know if I would be stitching or not. But I find that during this kind of troublesome time with the coronavirus that I want to check in with you all, and I also find myself really wanting to watch Flosstube because it takes my mind off everything that's going on. As I said last week, if you watched my video, my boyfriend was going overseas. He was leaving when I filmed, and I was very concerned about everything that was going on, with good reason. I'm going to do the Told You So dance a little bit. I was at a class Wednesday night, and actually Rocio, Kokohama Stitchery, sent me a message and was like, "Are you watching the State of the Union?" Of course I wasn't, because I was in a stained glass class. And I looked at my phone, and luckily I had made my boyfriend download Signal. It's an encrypted texting app, and I was able to call him at 3 o'clock in the morning where he was and wake him up, and he was very quickly off to the airport. And then he said that when he got there, it was bedlam. Every American citizen that was in that country was trying to get out quickly as they could, because at that point it was already Thursday, and everyone was unclear if you had until Thursday night at midnight or Friday at midnight, because midnight is a weird time. Then for a while it looked like the flight wasn't taking off. His text messages for me were coming in out of order because so many people were hooked into the Wi-Fi. And there was health screenings before they could get on the plane, and he did finally get back. But I spent much of Thursday I was hysterical. I'll be honest. I was a wreck. He was able to get back in. He's self-quarantined for 2 weeks. It's funny, most people have like a wedding countdown app, and I have a countdown for when his quarantine ends. I want to preface, I do know that people can still get out of the countries that they're in, but it's very hard to get out of a country when there's no planes. People keep pointing out to me, and I get that. There's no planes. Anyway, he's fine so far. He is in his bedroom at home, and he's just staying there for 2 weeks. It is what it is. And then for me, my grandmother and I are so far okay. We're both being very careful and practicing, of course, social distance. I have still been going to the grocery store, and then I have been dealing with this by shopping, which you will see very soon in my haul. You guys, I shouldn't be dealing with this by shopping. I'm not rich. But organizing seems to be, because it gives you that feeling of control. So I've been organizing and getting rid of things and cleaning, and that's been helping. Tuesday and Wednesday, I was so worried about him in Europe. I knew something bad was going to happen. So I touch my face all the time, by the way, and it's allergy season. But so I knew something bad was going to happen, and my boss went to a conference. So then I'm also worried that somebody at the conference is going to end up having had it. So I Monday wrote a directive to the board as to what our plan was at that point. I do think I'm going to update it tomorrow and update the board. But the first thing was that last week we were going to deep clean the office, and by we I meant me. There were boxes still from when we moved in over 3 years ago. I unpacked them. I dusted. We have a cleaning crew that comes in, but like they only dust surfaces that don't have anything on them, and they don't do floorboards, and they don't vacuum everything. They just take the garbage, really. So I really went through and took 2 days. I took all the furniture out of my office. I rearranged everything, because by taking the furniture out, which I know I'm not supposed to lift things over 50 pounds. I take many, many trips. um, so I reorganized my office. I moved the furniture around. It looks completely different. And I like to do that a couple times a year. I like to do that at home too, except my rooms here are very small. So there's really, the furniture is where it has to be. Every single wall is jammed. So anyway, my directive to the board was that we would clean last week, and then, we would play it by ear if we had to have closures. We do have a couple cases in the counties surrounding us, and that we would continue to clean as needed, and if the office was closed because of quarantine, or if because one of us was sick, we would have to hire someone to come in and do like a scrub down. Which was another reason I really wanted to clean, because I wanted the office to be clean already for when we had to have someone come in. As of Friday, my boss came back and I had like Clorox wipes on my desk because he was around so many people. His wife works in a factory. So I'm very concerned that he's carrying it and he doesn't know. So I was wiping the door handles every time I went out. Before he came in, because I knew the office was still clean, I filled up my water bottles. I have a Soda Stream, so I filled the 2 of those, and then I have a Yeti. I put them in my office. And I went out for lunch because I didn't want to use the kitchen. Like, I didn't want to go in there. I didn't have to. I think that he should work from home and I should continue to go in because I'm around just my grandmother. He does not agree. So right now we're doing 1 day on, 1 day off, but I mean, Corona lives for up to 3 days. So he has said that he will clean before he leaves. My plan is to clean right when I come in. And just do what we have to do. Sorry, I know that this is probably long-winded and you don't care what my plans are, but I live with an 84-year-old, and I want to make sure I continue living with an 84-year-old. So, I am very nervous. I had a rough week. It's better now. I'm not nearly as not getting sleep while he was gone, because I felt like something bad was going to happen. It was really rough on my mental health. Sleeping now that he's home has helped. But I didn't work on my Christmas. I worked like a little bit on my ornaments this week, and then I put them away. I need things that are easier, that don't require all of my brain. But anyway, speaking of, let's get to cross stitch. We're 8 minutes in, so hopefully I'll remember to write that down. If you got through all that, thank you for listening. I needed to put it out there. Wash your hands, please. I'll probably remind you 6 more times. So anyway, the last time that we talked, I was supposed to continue working on my Casey Christmas Village Sal that I'm doing with Laura, which there's the pattern. Oops. I worked like this brown is what I did this week, and that's it. Maybe this week I'll want to pull it back out, but for now, it was too much. It's very complicated because it's full coverage, and I needed something that required less of me. So I didn't actually stitch anything until I stitched that Tuesday night, and then I didn't stitch again until Friday. So Monday night, I went to a beginner Pysanky class. And that's the Ukrainian eggs that you use. So I don't know if this was a Ukrainian class. It's also a Polish thing. We just have a different word for it. But it was offered at my church, and it was Monday, and it was only $20, and it was really fun. She does parties at houses too, so I'm hoping that she'll come to my house soon. It was Tammy. It was, what is her name? Pianki it's Pianki, I think. by Tammy. Ukrainian words are hard for me. But anyway, you use beeswax and this little tool. So it's hollow. Can you see that? So this part is hollow, and you heat it up in a candle, and then you dip the heated thing into the beeswax, and it goes onto this, and then you trace the wax onto the egg. And mine is not perfect. One, I didn't know what I was doing, and all I really wanted was to have a not broken egg at the end, and I did get that. So here is my first egg. So it's purple, white, pink, and orange. The little dots. So each part of the egg has a meaning. So hang on. I bought the book. I'm a sucker for a book. If you have a book on how to, I definitely want it. All right. So there we go. So mine has these little dots, and the dots are the Tears of Mary. And then ours also has, so I guess it was like supposed to be a cross. So like this is a cross. You see that? And then the colors also have meaning. Let me return to my book. I'm actually really enjoying this, and the author lives pretty close. So, purple is faith, which I'm sure most of you knew. Red is happiness, and orange is strength. It was a lot of fun. If you ever come to Scranton, I will have her come to my house and we can have a class. I can't wait. At the time, we were still hopeful that this sickness wasn't going to get much worse. Obviously that's changed a lot. This is a constantly changing situation, and it has changed a lot since Monday. This is where I put all the stuff I want to show you during the week I collect it. And I had hoped she'd come right after Easter, and I don't know if that's going to happen. Anyway, so that was my Monday night egg class. Tuesday I worked a little bit on the village. And then Wednesday, my friend Allison, we used to work together at United Neighborhood Centers. I worked in neighborhood revitalization and with English as a second language students. We have stayed friends. She works for the big medical insurance company now, Geisinger, which you may have heard of. Hang on. So she works there, and she has been wanting to have a hobby. And she asked to do a stained glass class. So I was like, oh, I'll do it with you. I can sign up for the beginner class that, I don't need. So this is what I made on Wednesday, right before I got the bad news about my boyfriend. Let's see so it's pink. It's all different shades of pink that you're never going to be able to see because lighting is hard. So that's kind of it. Now, do you see this piece right here? It's very pretty. It's a pink with a little bit of white in there. First thing I ever made was this heart. Look at here and here. It's the same glass. It's from her scraps. And I was pretty excited when I got home and figured out that I still have the same taste. So now I have two windows. I have that one, and then there's one right next to me here that you can't see. So I already had this one in one, and I'll put this in the other. It was fun to take the beginner class again. I've taught it several times, so it was definitely different to be taking and not teaching. One of her kind of employees was also there, so I ended up spending a lot of time talking to him. His name is Mr. Phil. I love him. He started stained glass in the 80s when he retired from the military, and he's a lot of fun. I actually commissioned him to make me he does it's like it is a glass base, and then he does leaded letters. So instead of soldering, which is what that is, like this is soldered, he uses like lead not tubing, but it's lead. It's what you use for windows. So he's going to do my name with a little shamrock, so that'll be cute. And then I forgot to bring up my leprechaun to show you guys. I will do that next time. Because my leprechaun is pretty great. Because I showed you the fused glass, right? Yeah, I did. Anyway. So that was the 2 days of out and about last week for not cross stitching, and that was a lot of fun. Like I said, it was good to be around people, as that's probably going to end. And then Friday, I think, I started a little bit of stitching, but I didn't get home until pretty late, and I've been, like I said, I've been like weirdly organizing, but I pulled my Christmas gingerbread village out, and that is, hang on one second, I'm always with the pattern on. So that is, oh, it's huge. That is this. So you can see what I already had done there. And then a little bit Friday night, and then yesterday, I did that. That is the 5th block. That's a little gingerbread girl. Hang on one second. My computer is telling me that a vast isn't working. There we go. So these all have pretty big mistakes in it, because that's just like the house will be off by things will be off by one. I am proud to announce that this bottom one has no mistakes. I know there weren't that many stitches, but it has no mistakes. This is Cottage Needleworks. Next, and this is the pattern for what I just did. There we go. Gingerbread Village. And then next, the whole reason I picked this for my boyfriend's mother. It's time. Hang on, there we go. To do the train. So I'm going to start that probably tomorrow. So that's a little train. In the pattern, all of these have a, is it Jabco button? I don't have any of those, which is fine. I don't need them. I've just been stitching in those spots. I'm looking forward to doing this, although the gingerbread people are supposed to have French knot eyes. I just do a cross stitch. It's fine. So I'm very, very excited to do that. So I did that yesterday, and I put it down because I did not work on my Lenten piece Friday. I had this desire to start that, so I went with it. I tried to practice good self-care. But I picked it back up today. And so my Lindy Stitches Lenten piece, I think I've told you guys about, is Alaskan Did My Savior Bleed. It's her, she put out a piece for Lent. It's beautiful. Love it so much. And this went right to her Etsy shop. It wasn't a market release, thank goodness, because I was able to start it on Ash Wednesday. I have finished, so it's like, quick flash, it's like this page, and then 3/4 of another page, and I have finished the first page. And then what I have been doing is I keep going. So like the pattern actually ended with the U here, that first page, but I just kept going until I ran out of thread. Same with here. And then also that's what I did for the letters too. So I'm a little farther than the first page being done. I love this. So I worked on that today, and I'm going to work on it some more tonight. And I actually think I'm going to work on this until I have a finish. I don't know if I have a frame at home that I'll be able to frame it, but I am hoping that, you know, Hobby Lobby will stay open. And as long as I'm not quarantined, I'll go get a frame. because this is bringing me some joy today and some peace. It is a pleasure to stitch. Obviously, Stephanie Webb does not watch my Flosstube because I'm not cool, which is fine. But if she ever happens to stumble upon this, thank you sincerely. This piece has meant a lot. It's really, going into Lent, I had a lot of feelings, and now, like, with not going to church and, you know, still trying to make sure I get my envelope there because I'm worried my church is going to close. In this time that is less difficult than it was, but still very difficult, has really meant a lot. So thank you for putting this out. And also, so many of you reached out to me this week in like Instagram Messenger to see about my boyfriend and how he was and how I was. I don't have words for how much that meant. It was truly wonderful, and I'm so grateful. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I have to write something down. Hang on. I hate when I can't remember how to spell words. Anyway, so those are the two projects that I've worked on. Well, technically 3, you know, if you count the 30 stitches I put in the ornament this week, other than my not stained glass stuff. Now, I can't decide, should we do haul and then my organizational plans, or what should we do? What do you think? Let's do haul. So I checked to make sure I got everything. It came in 2 envelopes, but I haven't really looked at it. I did all of my market pre-orders from Top Knot Stitcher. She's got a great website. It's it loads really quickly. One thing about cross-stitch websites, I don't know why, they don't generally load fast. And patience is not one of my virtues. Hers is really easy and fast to navigate, and I would highly recommend. It's a lot. Highly recommend. That said, I'm in the Threads Entwined fiber of the, I do the 9 threads. It hasn't come yet, but she said there's going to be a discount code in it, so I'm going to have more haul because I want to kit up a bunch of this. So I'm going to try and go in order of what I ordered initially and then what I added. So I've said I never did a market before, and apparently I didn't know anything about like the difference between a Nashville exclusive and a Nashville release. It was explained to me that exclusives only go out to the shops that go to Nashville for like 6 weeks or something. So I got, should I take them out of the bags? Let's see if that helps with the glare. You have to deal with the noise. People always apologize for that, but what is a girl to do? So I've never had an ink circles before, but I thought that they're, hang on, let's see. Oh. There we go. So this is the Ink Circles Market exclusive. And it's called After the Roses, and it comes with 2 patterns. So it comes with that big one, and then that little guy right there. And I very much like that. I don't know when or if I'll ever stitch it, because Ink Circles, there's a lot, but it's so pretty, I do want to stitch it. And then just so you guys know, I've never had anything by any of these designers, except for the other Lindy Stitches piece I got. Then I got Love Always, which is by Annie B's Folk Art. Let's see how we do with not taking it out. No, I think it needs to come out. These should come out. Light in my house is always weird because it's an old house. And I do apologize. If I can get it out. I mean, they got it in. There we go. So. Does it actually help, like, when you put a piece of paper behind something? Licked my lip. I'm telling you guys, I'm the worst. Like, does this actually help? No, I don't think it does. So that's called Love Always. And it's so little and cute and charming, and I love that. What if hang on. You guys must hate me, I'm sorry. Is it better? Is this better? Oh, that's a little better. So that's the second thing. So this is from my first order. I ended up having 3. Then I love Christmas, as I think I've told you guys. And I love some of the Christmas samplers that I've seen, and I've really been wanting one. But I never know, like, I never remember to write them down, like who designed it or any of that. So when Teresa Kogut, I happened to watch her. This is actually why I ended up doing a pre-order, is because Teresa Kogut started doing samplers this time. And this is a Christmas one. So this is called Heaven and Nature, and it says Let Heaven and Nature Sing, which is one of my favorite songs. Let heaven and nature sing, let heaven and nature sing, let heaven and nature sing. Anyway, I love this. I want to start this soon. It's really, really cute. There's like angel, a big house, Christmas trees, deer, the whole thing. I simply love this. Hang on. And then I also, Classic Colorworks had 2 or 3 new market colors, which you've all seen a million times now. Mariners, it was apparently nautical. Lighthouse, Chesapeake Bay, and Mariners. Whoops, hang on. So those are the 3 Classic Colorwork colors, and if you pre-ordered them, you got a Little House Needleworks sampler heart, and you can either do 1 or all 3. I probably won't do any of them, just because I regret doing the one free one that I got, because it's going to use all the thread, and why did I buy it? So I have that, and then I love this Merry Merry Needle. Oh, I should open it. So this is the Lindy Stitches pre-order that I did. I didn't realize hers were not a Ziploc bag. I'll probably never get this closed again. Lindy, I don't love your bags. Stephanie, Lindy, don't love them. But here it is. Again, you guys have all seen these before. It comes in the light colors or the dark. I am leaning towards doing the light colors because I think they match my decor a lot more. I wish I could make it better. But it's beautiful. She's an incredible designer. These are all on the short list for very soon. So then, I don't usually watch, I don't usually watch Beth Twist, but she was doing a video with her market releases, so I did. And I got Consider the Lilies, the book. Guys, it's huge. The stitch count is 435 by 363. 1 thread over 2 on R&R 28 Winter's Brew. And then it calls for Classic Colorworks, Gentle Arts, and Weeks. And it's like 2 or 3 skeins of everything, 1 strand. Like, it's big. But I'm gonna get the fabric. I actually know where I would put it. I don't know if I'll ever get it done, but I know where I would put it, which is in my office behind my desk. It would fit perfectly there. And then I also ordered from her, she came out with these Angels and Willows project label set. Can you see that? And it's all different etchings from headstones. So it says, upon my death, I bequeath this work of my hands to. And so it is a little card that you can fill out and put on the back of finished objects for who you're planning to leave it to. And I love that. So that was my second pre-order. And then everybody got to Nashville, and Little House Needleworks, who they don't go, they send their distributor goes for them. God, you guys must hate me, I'm sorry. Their distributor goes for them, and they posted a picture, and I immediately messaged Rocio, Coco, and I was like, where can we get this? I need it. And she's like, I don't know, I've got an email out to, I think her name's Abby from Top Knot Stitcher, and the next thing I know, the next day, she's already got it listed on the website. So this is Kringle by Little House Needleworks, and I got the thread pack. So it's all the classic Colorworks colors. The only thing it did not come with was it calls for, let's see, came with all the classic Colorworks that you needed, including the 6 skeins of black coffee. But I'll have to go out and get the DMC that it calls for and the Versoix. I don't know what that is. I think it's gold. And you blend that with a DMC color. So those are the 2 things I still need for that. I'm telling myself I can't cast this on. I'm not knitting. I'm cross stitching. We don't cast on. We start stitching. But I can't start this until the Gingerbread Village is done and my Glitter Village is done, because I have the fabric already for that. I don't know where I'm going to put this, but I love it. Now, hang on a second. Let me turn myself back around. Hi. So I think I told you that I have been dealing with my stress by organizing. I've gotten rid of some more books. I completely cleared off my desk, not that you can tell right now because I'm filming a video. I ordered the bags that Stitcher Mel and many others of you use, the plastic bags that you keep your kitted up projects in, because I am actually going to, I think, kit all these up. And have them kitted up and ready to go, because I like to be prepared. So after my last video, I sent Quirks and Stitches, Jen Lee, a message. I had watched her latest Flosstube, and she talked about her floss cards, and I have been waiting for her to start selling them in her Etsy shop, and she hasn't yet because girl's busy, I get it. But I really wanted them, and I was like, did I miss it? Are they on her website? Do you know when they're coming out? And she got back to me, and she's like, actually, I'm looking for people to test them out and tell me how they are. Can I email it to you? And I was like, yes, I'll pay for them, but yes. So she sent them to me. So these are her floss cards, and they come in, so this has 9 spots on it, and then you put the name of your project. So this is the one I'm using for Alas and Did My Save Your Bleed. You put the stitch count, and then it also has, hang on, I printed out a bunch of them to be ready. So she has that one, and then also the jumbo one that I think has 20 spots on it. I did these on, it's not quite a cardstock, it's a little thinner, it's just paper I had. It is nicer than just paper, but it's not cardstock. So it's kind of like the ones that Kelly Stadola prints out on her like Cricut or whatever. But I like that you can write on them. And what I really like is when I'm done with the leftover floss, I can cut this line and put it away. My DMC is in those pink things right there. Every number of DMC is listed there. So I can just cut it off and put it away. And then my fancy floss is in these little boxes now. I use square snack bags from Walmart. They just came out this year, and now I'm worried they're not going to carry them anymore, so I might buy like 1,000. So I just keep them in this box. So when they're done, the thing can just go back in here. So, of course, so. When I was in Ireland the last time, they pointed out that Americans say so and like a lot, and I am aware of it because I don't usually say but so and like are definitely a thing. Also, here's for my gingerbread village. I did this yesterday. Except the white one, I did it too close and it broke, so I had to move it. As I said, I'm dealing with these stressful times by shopping. I bought myself a new printer. It's wireless, prints from my cell phone and from the computer that I'm filming this on. I love it already. It's great. I'm so glad I have it. And then Saturday morning, I was like, you know what? Jen has these, they're like so pretty because it's not her handwriting. She like types them. I bet she uses a label maker. So I went to Staples because there was no people there. They also had Clorox. And I bought a desktop label maker that I don't know how to use yet. I really want to figure that. That's on the list for tonight because my plan is to make the floss cards for the projects from Market so that they can be ready to be kitted up. And then I got shipping tags, and on the outside of the bags I will put a shipping tag with the project name on one side with the label maker, and then on the other side I will write what I still need. So like if I need DMC or whatever, so that I can go to that project and know what I have and what I still need to get. Like, do I need the fabric? I don't know where I'm going to keep all these kitted projects because your girl does not have any extra room, but that is the plan, and I am very much looking forward to it. I use X-Stitch, I think I've said that before, to keep track of my floss, but like I will not add any of the Kris Kringle floss to X-Stitch until after the project's done, and I'll add whatever's left. Just because I don't actually have it because it's already got a job. And then my patterns, they're like file folders, and I have them in here by designer. And I think I'm going to put labels for the designer in these. Oh, and that's the other thing. The reason I got the printer is because I'm going to make working copies of all of these right away. So the project bag will have the pattern, the working copy, whatever floss I already have, the project card, and then as I don't have any fabric, like certainly not for anything this big. So as I get all that together, I will add it to those bags. I'm excited. Organization makes me happy and gives me a feeling of control. So I need it. This video is now 40 minutes long. Oh Lord, I'm sorry. I wonder if anybody's gotten this far. Let's see. I write down what I want to say before my videos. And usually, like the last one I did, that was it. And then today was much longer. So let's see. Mark's trip, my finished object, whips, my egg class, stained glass haul, organization. Oh my gosh. So Friday, I'm exhausted. I haven't really been sleeping. I'm so stressed. I follow Carolyn from Off the Grid Needleworks, or Needlework, whatever, Off the Grid. She does Fridays where she does a Stitch With Me video. She does Flosstubes on Monday. She's from Canada. She has a very gentle, soothing mannerism. She lives like on a lake with her family and her dog. Her new dog, her old dog passed away. And she's lovely. And she has been planning a retreat. And I was like, I can't. It's at the end of September. I leave for a conference a month after that. Like, I can't go. And then Friday, she posted that there were 30 spots left. Rocio is going. And I was like, well, maybe I could come up just for like Sunday when it's over, and like I'll drive 5 hours and we'll go out for dinner and then I'll drive home. And then, you know, my boyfriend's in quarantine. I was exhausted. It really does feel like everybody's gonna die. I mean, I know everybody's not gonna die and most people aren't gonna die, but there's a good chance that somebody I know is gonna die. And I was like, you know what? It's only like $115 US. I'm going. And if I end up having to eat it, so be it. But Toronto's less than 6 hours away, and that's where it is. I think there's still a couple spots left. Don't quote me on that. The website's evertote.com, and it's Stitch North is the retreat. It starts on, I think, Friday the 25th, very early in the morning, and goes until Sunday. So I can leave work Thursday, maybe around 4 when I get out, and I can be there by 10. Rocio and I are going to share a room, and then we'll get there. The stitching room opens at 7, but I can't imagine she or I will be there at 7. We'll be going to Starbucks, 6 times. But the stitching room is open from like 7 till 10 Friday and Saturday, and like 7 to noon on Sunday. There's going to be a pizza party. There's going to be a smalls exchange, wag bag. I want to be around all these stitchers. Like, I do. I want to meet you guys. I don't know if anybody who's going watches this. If you do, please, please, please comment. Tell me you're coming. I think I have a friend who's a graphic designer, and she's been making me a logo because I wanted one for YouTube. But I think I'm going to turn that into needle minders and give them out because I think that'll be really fun. And I'm so excited. I needed that. And then it really got me in the mood to stitch and to be organized. And now I'm trying to think about 6 months down the road what I'm going to bring with me and what I'm going to wear. And I am ready and excited, and I can't wait. I needed it, and I'm just glad that I just did it. But no more shopping except for the market stuff that I need kitted up. But after that, no more shopping. Anyway, I hope you're coming with me. I did tell Instagram at large that if I die, somebody has to go in my place. The ticket is paid for. I don't want it wasted. Today I don't think I'm going to die. Tired Katie on Friday was like, I'm definitely going to get this and it's going to kill me. I have a heart condition. People very kindly and not trying to fearmonger send me, messages from doctors about who's most susceptible. And people who have heart conditions like mine are very susceptible. I have talked to my cardiologist. There's nothing I can do except for social distance, which I'm practicing, but I do still have to go to work. I'm hoping, I'm going to cry. I'm hoping not to be able to start working from home permanently, hopefully by Wednesday or Thursday. I think our governor, I live in Pennsylvania, he's been very proactive. I think he's just going to say, you have to work from home. Like, I work for a wine society. Like, anyway, if I die, we'll raffle it off. Guys, stay calm and happy and stitch. If you need to talk, I'm at Katie Stitching on Instagram. Reach out to me. I promise not to be doom and gloom. We'll send each other funny memes. check in with me if you need to, check in if you're a senior citizen with your kids, with your friends. If you have neighbors who are senior citizens, please, I'm begging you to check on them. They're scared to go out. They're scared, and I don't blame them. I'm gonna cry. I live with my 84-year-old grandmother, and she's terrified. She's never smoked. She doesn't have any real health conditions, but, you know, she looked at me on Friday when I got home, and she goes, Katie, I'm not scared of getting this, but I am scared that I'm going to die from a lung problem. I never smoked. I've never had lung problems, but I don't want lung things to kill me. And that was really hard to hear because she's very beloved to me. You know, my mom passed away, and even before that, my grandmother and I have always been close. So please reach out to the seniors in your neighborhood. I know that our next door neighbor is a widow, and, you know, I had my grandmother, we called, and I was like, listen, you can always come over here, and if we're quarantined, I can put food on your porch, like, whatever you need. Particularly people who live alone, check on them. You know, even, like, your friends who say that they're introverted, a lot of people who think they're introverted are not. They do well alone, but being alone for this length of time, for people who are introverted, is a lot. 2 weeks is a long time. So if you know people who live alone, reach out to them. It's the 20th century, guys. We've got cell phones. You can text, you can email, you can call, you can video chat. These are all things that can be done. And again, I'm at Katie's Stitching. If you need to talk, I'm here for you. And also, next week, I'm going to do a giveaway. I don't know what yet, but we need to be happy. I just don't know what I have to give you. I would give you, like, anything you wanted at this point if it would make you happy. But I'll think of something to give to you all, okay? Anyway, I hope all is well. I'm sorry I got teary at the end. It's just who I am. I love you all. Keep stitching, okay?